reading fantasy is so much different than reading the usual books. And when you discuss fantasy novels, it's gotta be good, right? So keep watching this video because in this video I'm going to be discussing City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Mortal Instrument series. Basically, this author has imagined this very different world about which I am going to tell you in this video. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. But if you're new here, hi there, I am Manpreet. I make book related videos on this channel, discussing books every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. And yeah, sometimes I miss, but Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is the schedule. So please subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on by hitting that bell button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Just a disclaimer, this is going to be a slightly chatty video because a lot of you actually wanted me to make a video about City of Bones. I actually reread this book recently and I wanted to talk about it, so I am making this video even though videos like these barely get any views. Still, we are talking about City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. To tell you about this book, I have to explain what is Shadowhunter world. So basically, Cassandra Clare has thought of this different world where shadowhunters, individuals who are part humans and part angels exist, and these individuals try to fight the creatures from downworld, demons, vampires, werewolves. These try to keep these creatures in control and they kill them if they have to, and that is what shadowhunters are all about. These are like part human and part angels. Now Cassandra Clare has written several series that are a part of this world. This one is Mortal Instrument series, then there is also Infernal Devices series, and there are many more that have come up right now which I do not know much about because I wanted to first get through both Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices series. And this is the book one. This is from where you begin diving into the Shadowhunter world. Though there is an option of reading the prequel series, that is Infernal Devices series, before you begin this one, but I am not reading it that way. I am reading it how a lot of booktubers recommend, that is in the way they were published. Now coming to this City of Bones, or basically the Mortal Instrument series, the big plot is that there is this evil Shadowhunter named Valentine who is trying to acquire the Mortal Instruments, thus the name the Mortal Instruments. And he is this evil person who doesn't like all the people from the downworld, and that's the basic plot. He's like the Lord Voldemort of the Mortal Instrument series, okay? The book actually follows Clary Frey, who had a very average life so far, but now suddenly she has started seeing vampires, werewolves, these shadow hunters, and she's trying to make peace with that fact, trying to understand what's happening to her. And that is what, the book begins like. That is what the book is about. I'm so sure I'm pronouncing the name in a very weird manner, so please excuse me for that. Now, to give you a quick spoiler-free review of this book, I really liked it but not loved it. Actually, it's slightly painful to go through this book, but all of the people who love, they won't stand you saying bad things about Mortal Instrument series or Shadowhunter World or Cassandra Clare books. All of those people say that, yes, first book in the series is something you need to get through to actually fall in love with this world. So I actually got through this book twice, which is a big accomplishment, I think. But yes, it's slightly like a little bit boring. You're like, okay, please give me something to be interested about. It's just like too stretched, and following Clary, it's just like she's not my favorite character in the book. I will discuss more about characters and blah blah blah. It's just like a test for you as a reader, but you need to get through it to really enjoy this amazing world. And it gets better because I have read, I think, first 4 books in the series and 1 book in Infernal Devices series already, and I know they get really 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 good as you keep going on. So yes, this was slightly like, okay, remember last time I gave it 4 stars, but I'm pretty sure it would be 3.5 on Goodreads. I had to give it 4, but yeah, this is like a 3.5 book, but you have to get through it because it gets better, okay? Now is the disclaimer. This might turn spoilery, so if you haven't read the series, please stop watching because you'll be spoiled very badly and you do not want that to happen to you, okay? So please stop watching, read this book and come back and, take a part in this discussion. Please stop watching now. Please. It's a request. But otherwise, let's discuss City of Bones. So the book actually begins with Clary going to this club and then suddenly finding, stuff happening. And it's a very, very boring beginning. Honestly, this Shadowhunter series has also been converted into one movie. The movie was a big flop. Frodo is just like doing boom. Can you hear that? And there are also TV shows. I think TV shows are a little bit better. A friend gave a very good review about TV shows, but I didn't really, pay interest to any of this. But yeah, it begins with Clary going to this club and then slowly discovering this Shadowhunter world. And then her mother gets kidnapped and she slowly starts discovering what is this Shadowhunter world. She gets attacked by demons, and then there is a character named Jace, who is a character you would really love in the book. And then they figure out that there is this kind of block in Clary's head which is stopping her from remembering or recognizing this world she belongs to. And then they go and find Magnus Bane, who is like, this is a character you're going to love in the series. I really love Magnus Bane. And then Magnus Bane comes into the picture. Simon becomes a rat, and then they go and try to rescue Simon from the vampire nest. Really good. And all this while, because I know what happened in the book, right? I know I have read this book before. So the werewolves come, and I'm just like, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, no, this is not supposed to be this, and all those confusions that are happening and all of this stuff they're thinking. It's just like, because I have read this, I know the story, so it's just like, it was good. It wasn't like, I'm spoiled, I already know everything. It's really a pleasant feeling to reread a book. And then when Clary figures out, where is the model cup, and the way Hodge is, I mean, I'm just like, Clary, can't you see it? Please see it, this is Hodge, please see it, this is gonna be bad, please don't do it. And, the way she's like, oh, but we retrieved it, didn't Chase tell you? And she just takes out the cup and let him have it. It's just like, so, I mean, I knew it, and it's just like exciting. It was exciting in a way, I was always like silently telling the character to not do the stuff, but I know she does it anyway because Clary is one stupid character. And then the final showdown and how she meets Luke and all that, like, it's good. I really like the plot of the book, and I think it gets even better because, yeah, I kind of felt like, because the blows were a little lighter because I'm rereading it. I already know what happens, and even the Clary and Jace relationship thing, I know things get sorted out because I have read until like 3-4 books. But it was still like very exciting to read it. But one thing I have figured out is that I am never going to like Clary in this whole series. Pretty 99% sure. Okay, she's just such a boring character to follow. She's such a stupid character, and a lot of people talk about these like women in the books and women in movies who are doing stupid stuff or not given a big enough role. I don't think Clary has a small role. Clary is the character of the book. In this book, she's just like this dumb person who's trying to figure things out, but she becomes like stronger, and she gets developed later in the book, right? But in this book, it's just like so irritating to follow this character. She's just like a lost individual, and you do not really like her. So, not like as a critique, but it's just like something with the character. I do not like this character at all. And I'm just gonna go through all the notes that I have written for the book. And first note is that, like, first of all, I started rereading it because I watched this video of Christine Visho, who is Poland Banana Books. I watched her video, and she said it exactly like it is with the series. She's like, first book is gonna blah, second book is watch her video, okay? She has made this video about how to read Shadowhunter Chronicles, how to read Cassandra Clare books, and I'll try to link it down below. And in that video, she just very nicely, in one word, she explained how the first few books are, but she says you have to stick to them to enjoy them better, and that's nice. But in this book also there are 3 parts, and the first part is the boring ever. It would be a pain to get through it, but I hope you go through that pain. Please, this is gonna be good kind of pain. It's gonna pay off well. For a person who is reading these books for the first time, who doesn't know this Shadowhunter world, it's very hard to get through this book. Like, I'm very curious about the fact that how did people become this novel's fan? Because this particular book is just so boring and so painful to read at different levels and at different intensities. I'm just thinking, why would somebody pick another book? Now everybody knows they get better. Now everybody knows that it's worth the pain, it's worth the wait, it's worth doing, right? But when these books came out, I'm just curious, how come people picked up the next book after seeing this? If you have a theory about it, just let me know. Or maybe I think a lot of people still like the first book, right? It's entirely possible. But otherwise, when it comes to characters, the way Jace is introduced, and Alec and Isabel, and the humor these character brings to the story, it's like a humor you wouldn't understand in one go, but you have to start reading it slowly at those points to actually get that kind of weird humor that Cassandra Clare has. I would like to especially appreciate the fact that this book mentions India and Indian goddess Kali and all that stuff. Like a little mention of your own country feels so good in a book which is not from your country, right? So it's really cool. I really like that. And then another bad thing about Clary, which is like I have said and I have made a note of it so many times, that Clary is a really boring character. But with that being said, I really like that little romance that was building up between Clary and Chase, and what happened in the end is quite disheartening. But you know, it's something like okay, this romance is building up, and it is like nice romance. I really enjoyed it. It's like a whole fantasy book with a little portions of romance, and I really like that fact about this book. Not a lot of romance, but a little bit of romance, but just enough to get your heart beating, you know. Plot wise, I think this book is quite interesting, especially if you're reading it for the first time. There are so many questions that you will have. The world building is happening, you are getting to know Shadowhunter world, and then you get to know about so many questions. You know, you get to think about so many questions. Why was Jocelyn running away from Shadowhunters when she is herself a Shadowhunter? Who is Valentine, and why does Valentine want the mortal cup? Or where is the mortal cup? And how come Jocelyn has it? And all those questions that keep coming in the plot, I think they really make this plot very interesting and elaborate, and I really like that fact about this book. Jace as a character is something I loved the most. I think my favorite part in this book is Jace as a character. He is such a colorful character. He's caring, he's loving, he's stone-hearted at times, he's trying to hide away himself and trying to be something he's not, and that's not the good thing. There is so much of color and so much of emotions in Jace's character. I think I would always love this character the most in the book. And then, of course, Isabel and Alec are also really good. And obviously, I cannot forget Magnus Bane. Another, like, Simon is a character that I never really enjoyed in the book. I mean, like, Simon is just like, I have always felt like he's like this forced best friend who was put in the book just to make it a little complicated. He has no real role in the book. I mean, yeah, he plays a little bit of role here and there, but I could do without Simon. I just want him gone. Just like, why are you here, dude? Just to create that love triangle, or just to create that, useless best friend role. Why are you here? What do you guys think about Simon as a character? I totally didn't love Simon. I totally didn't even like Simon. I mean, just like unnecessary character, according to me. What do you guys think? That's a really wrong thing to do. You should never tell an author how long their book should be, but yes, it could be edited. It could be edited and could be a little more fast paced and enjoyable if that happened. So, yeah, overall, yes, this series takes some time to get into, but it has a very nice and elaborate plot. A very nice world building is happening in it, and it has relatable characters and plot lines. Even though it's a fantasy world, you would really get it. You would really connect to it. So overall, I think it's, yeah, like before, 3.5 out of 5 stars book, but it's worth reading because this world is worth knowing about, and I'm really excited to read the next book in the series, and I'll keep you guys updated about it on my Instagram. So follow me on Instagram at indianbooktuber for regular updates on what I'm reading and how I am liking the books that I'm reading. So yes, that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you just like this video because, yeah, not many people like to watch this format of videos, okay? So please give me some love for this and do share it with your friends. If your friends are into model instrument series, if you know your friend loved a model instrument book, then please share this video with them so that we can discuss. We love to discuss, right? So yes, this is going to be signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.